Equity markets are set to open up in less than 24 hours, snipers. I had to get out this Bitcoin update because the DXY closed the week with its highest close of the year. And the S&P 500 also reacting to that, down 2.8% for the Friday close. Equity markets and futures are going to be opening up here very soon, snipers. And what's very interesting about Bitcoin right now is that open interest at 19,000 is extremely high. The longer Bitcoin consolidates in this range, volatility compresses and futures positions build up, the larger the expansion will eventually be when we see a major move. And so the DXY had its highest weekly close of 2022 to close off the week. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ had their lowest weekly close of 2022. Is the macro still bearish with this extremely important Bitcoin against SPY chart right now? Looking like it wants to break out and invalidate this descending triangle. Is that going to give Bitcoin some fuel despite what happens to equity markets to see some sort of a decoupling effect? Well, I'll mention this. You can see here with the S&P 500 on the daily candles, the last 2 days were pretty significant. We had one bullish daily candle followed by a bearish daily candle. So a bullish wick, a bearish wick. And so the way futures markets open up, 35.93 is going to be critical to watch the previous weekly open. And then, of course, the DXY, we want to monitor whether or not we're going to continue to test this resistance here at 114. That's going to be extremely important coming into this week. Bitcoin is still stuck in this range as a stable coin above the previous weekly open at 19,057, which will be insignificant tomorrow as the weekly open will reset. The resistance here, pretty much 20,000 US dollars. This is the range Bitcoin has decided to have its cup of coffee. But Bitcoin against SPY is probably the most interesting chart, as I mentioned from the start of this video, snipers, because if this does break out, it gives Bitcoin the opportunity to potentially decouple away from the equity markets and maybe see a restructuring of the correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin's price. And what I mean by that is Bitcoin could see some strength that doesn't necessarily have to come from the equity markets if that Bitcoin to SPY chart breaks out. And so we know there's a lot of long positions and open interest here at 19,000, probably why the price is having a very long cup of coffee at that level. And so coming into futures markets opening up, let's monitor the S&P 500, of course, and then Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, 65,000 Satoshis is still very important for this weekend. 1277 is going to be that US dollar pairing support level. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here coming into this week with the CPI report out of the way, the PPI report out of the way. Now it's really a matter of time before we see the markets actually react to those reports, not just that short-term volatility that we were expecting here on the Snipers channel. So I think that that's what this week has to bring for us. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And then I just want to also mention the monthly candle for the S&P 500 has yet to really play out. Remember this monthly candle that closed last month? It was a very bearish monthly candle, as if price wants to form some very strong downward momentum to form maybe another low. This week, this monthly candle is extremely bearish. We have 15 days left for this current monthly candle to play out. Are we going to be seeing a final move to the downside before some upside? I think that that's still on the table. The monthly candle is very bearish here for the S&P 500. For Bitcoin, not as much, I would say. Bitcoin has been very stagnant, and that's exactly why we want to monitor the correlation against the S&P 500 and Bitcoin more than anything right now. And that's going to be the most important trigger for us to start determining some upside targets. It's going to be the confirmation of a break of this resistance and the invalidation of the descending triangle. So with that, snipers, thank you all for tuning into the channel for this Sunday morning update. Futures market set to open soon. I'll get another video update out to you guys if we get any hints from that. And smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content. Until next time, snipers.